Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders, great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp, coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. All right, and this is another one on Dabu77's channel. And it says contingency plans enacted. U.S. railroads preparing for massive labor strike as union talks fail. Okay, so let's let this video play and we'll get some scripture.
But we've got a big event on the horizon here yet again. It seems to all be engineered and by design. This time it has to do with the railroads and the labor unions. And you may recall that we had shortages en masse that they were wanting to blame on whatever. And the ports had major issues where the boats were backed up as far as the eye could see out into the ocean. All of this caused a disruption in all of our goods here in America. And when it comes to the main transit, rail freight networks are the arteries of the U.S. economy. Right now, there's been this big fight, this back and forth between both sides, the workers and the unions, over what's going to happen here. And they're saying that Biden stepped in and said that there had to be this cooling off period where these two had to work out the new contracts. Well, the cooling off period ends this Friday, September 16th. And they're saying that when this goes into effect, things could start to break down. Knowing everything that we've lived through in the past couple years, this is right in line with what they would want to slow everything down. So if you shut down the rail system, this is just the next shoe to drop, the next big event in terms of stifling goods from getting where they need to go across the country, in or out. So you talk about bringing things to a standstill. If they shut down completely, it most definitely could. And again, it seems that someone has ushered all of this way. Eyes open here on this world stage.
Hey, this ain't looking good. This definitely is not looking good. Okay, first you done had truckers go on strike. Then you had the, as Dabu7 said, you had the incident going on with the ports and how you got all these ships waiting months and months at sea just to come in. And, you know, some of them can't even deliver their product. And now you're talking about the folks on the railroad are going to strike. This is how do you say, this is, I guess as worldly folks would say, this is looking very grim. Because there are a lot of things that come in by train, just as a lot of things come by truck and boat. A lot of things come in by train as well. And if these guys are talking about going on strike for whatever reason, this is, I'm not going to say it's going to be the nail in the coffin, but it's going to be damn near the nail in the coffin. Folks thought they couldn't get certain things like metals, parts to cars and refrigerators and food and things like that. They thought that things were tight before. It's about to get even worse now. And when these guys go on strike, what do you think that's going to go to what do you think that's going to do to the price of goods? We are in a very critical point in human history where The Lord is bringing heavy judgment upon Babylon the snake. The Lord said that there will come a time where he would send his four sword judgments upon the earth. And let's get that. Ezekiel 14 and 21. Ezekiel 14 and 21. And it says, "For thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast." And this railroad strike is only going to further, what's the word that they always use? Exacerbate. Okay, it's only going to further worsen the current scenario that we have going on right now. Because folks are barely making it, and they can still indulge in some type of activity to, I guess that's kind of a break from the hustle and bustle, the grind, so they say. And even the scripture talks about that, where it says the green tree. It's in the New Testament. I think it's in Luke 23 and 31. And it says, "For if they do these things in a green tree, what shall be done in the dry?" If folks are struggling to do this type of stuff and they can still find a way to relax and take a break from the grind and things are this bad, imagine what's going to happen when there's no more supplies because everything has stopped or everything is damn near come to a halt. Boats have come to a halt. Trains have come to a halt. Trucks have come to a halt. What's going to happen when all these resources dry up? What's going to happen when all these businesses and these institutions can't stay open for folks to take a break from the grind? Things are going to get very chaotic out here. As the scripture says, you already got people lamenting for the teats. They're lamenting for the teats because, hey, folks are still hoping that we can get back to that time, as spoken of in 2nd Ezra, where it talks about how Second Ezra 16 and 21. Okay, folks are trying to remember this time where it says, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case." All right. Folks are sighing and crying. Remember how things used to be cheap and the economy used to be good. All right. Thinking that America was going to bounce back, but you can't say things are going to be looking good when you're talking about the railroads are going to be going on strike. I saw a video and it was explaining how a decent portion of products get to certain places via train. So when these guys talk about, hey man, we through, it's not going to be looking good. But this is all part of the plan. Christopher Green says it a lot in his videos. He says, trust the plan. Not in the sense of having faith in it, but trust the plan like, hey, this is what it's all designed to be. All these things are purposely designed by the wicked to further enslave mankind. There's a scripture that talks about that. It's either in Proverbs or Ecclesiasticus, because this is all the elite do. Think of ways to further oppress the people. Let me put it on pause and find it. Okay, this is Isaiah 59 and 7. It says, because this is the thoughts. All right, now this is talking about Israel, but this applies to bad Uncle Esau too, as Isaiah 59 and 7. It's like I said, this is all they think about, oppressing people. It says, their feet run to evil, and they make haste to shed innocent blood. How are they doing that? Because they're defrauding people of their wages, their way of living. And you have to remember, the scripture says, man, a guy who defrauds a person of money, their way of living, hey, they're actually worse than a bloodshedder. All right, it's roughly paraphrasing, but it says their thoughts are thoughts of iniquity, wasting and destruction are in their paths. Right, because their new world order can't come to fruition unless many people are destroyed, unless the old system is destroyed. The righteous morality is destroyed. Manhood is destroyed. They cannot accomplish this until every single thing that can step or oppose their will be destroyed. And see, it's all by design. And guess what? This railroad strike is just another method of getting closer to the end agenda. So that's all I wanted to say on that. I hope you all ratified. Till next time, I'm going to say shalom.